bit late this morning. I think I might be a couple of minutes late. The reason I'm late is because I had so many parcels in my doorway I couldn't shut the craft room door, so I I was just moving all the orders and the bags. So let's how is everybody this morning? Is everybody okay? The sun's shining now, and actually the weather forecast has changed. So for Sunday, which is my daughter's 16th birthday on Sunday, it's supposed to be sunny, which means that we can have the barbecue that we planned, so that's really good news. Have I got anything else to tell you this morning? Morning Becky, morning Debbie, morning Eileen. I haven't got my coffee this morning, but I have got a drink of water because I've been going a bit hoarse. Hello Debbie. I've been going a bit hoarse the last couple of days where I've been talking so much. So whilst we're waiting for a few people to come on, morning Margaret, morning Linda, morning Sheila. I've decided that as these Facebook Lives go so well, once we all go back to normal, I'm going to carry on doing one a week, and I'll probably do it in the evening time, because then there'll be a bigger audience. I also thought it might be a nice idea to once a week do a spotlight for the companies that we stock in the shop. So every week, morning Jane, on a certain date. So hiya Tracy, we'll have hi Ginny, we'll have so say we do a Facebook Live on a Tuesday. Oh, I love you Eileen, I love you. I know, 16-year-old daughter, I know. Also got a 23-year-old daughter. No wonder I'm bloody grey, I tell you. Oh, thanks Sheila, thank you. Hi Wendy, nice to see you. Hi Shirley. So what I will probably do is on a Monday evening, we will have, no actually, because I do sometimes do a Monday evening. Morning Linda, morning Louise, morning Siobhan. I normally do an evening class at the shop once a month. So what we do Tuesday evening maybe. We'll have a Facebook Live. Morning Louise. In the evening for everybody. And then maybe on a Wednesday evening we'll do a spotlight. So have you got 4 daughters? Oh my God. You have my sympathy. You really do. Yeah, so we'll get one company. Say, for argument's sake, let's say Lavinia, okay? And then on a Wednesday evening, we will showcase all the Lavinia stamps that we've got in the shop, and then anybody can buy. Morning, Diana. So, how do you all feel about that? So you can let me know your thoughts, but I thought that might be a really good idea. And for those people that we're reaching further afield, we can carry this on, because as I said, as Margaret said yesterday, she feels like she's got some new friends, which is exactly how I feel. So it's lovely, and it's nice to reach a bigger target. So let me show you what we're going to be doing today. So I'm still with my Julie Hickey, I've gone very, very pretty, very pretty. So today we're using the borders. Okay, the new Julie Hickey border stamps with the new Julie Hickey lowercase alphabet set. Good, that sounds brilliant, lovely. So everybody likes that idea, so I think that's the way to go. And I've used Tracy Scott's embossing powders through Wow, so inspired by Tracy Scott with the embossing powders, so you can see the lovely, hi, morning Elaine, glitter effect with those. So what I've actually done is I've tried to, I'm going to leave that there. Okay, Sharon, when are you going to come? Do you know what? I've got a basement to that as well. I've had that sat there for, I got that when my kids were small, so Amy's going to be 16. So, morning Shirley. I've got to have had that sat there for 12 years. So when I've got some time, you've got you on my TV and I'm waving. Oh my God, how strange is that? So you've got a massive picture of me. Yeah, so maybe in about 10 or 12 years time, when I'm retired, I will do my doll's house. I've even got some furniture. Look, I've even got like a kitchen waiting to be installed. It's ridiculous. I won't like all those bits anymore once. You never know. You might tune in one day and you'll see it painted in a different colour. But hey ho. No, I can't see you, I'm afraid, Elaine. I'd love to be able to see you. You can always FaceTime me afterwards and we can have a little chat. Right, okay, so let me show you. Floral borders. Okay, £8.50 these ones, but the new Tracy Scott one. Oh, Tracy Scott ones. Tracy's in my head. The new Julie Hickey stamps. Okay, the new Julie Hickey lowercase. Oh, can you, Millie? Oh, can you, Shirley? That would be fantastic. I finished the patchwork quilt I started 26 years ago. Oh, so there is hope for me yet. There is hope for me yet. Okay, so these are the new lowercase alphabets. Okay, the fabulous idea with these, and it is such a simple idea, but you've got like 2 B's, 2 P's, and all that, so you can actually do happy birthday all in one run, which is fantastic. So we're going to be using those today. And where's my trios? Right, so what I have done, I'm going to turn you around now so that you can see what I'm doing, because it's easier than staring at me the whole time. So I've tried to match up. So these are the Tracy Scott inspired Wow embossing powders. Okay, morning Val. Oh, making bread. I love homemade bread. It's beautiful. So I've tried to team them up with an oxide. So as I say, this one is aquamarine and I've teamed it up with evergreen bough. Okay. Then we've got tanzanite. And I have teamed that up with seedless preserve. I think that's quite a good match. And the last one is, oh gosh, do you know what? Hang on a minute. I can't even see that. I'm struggling. Peridot. I probably said that wrong. And then I've teamed that up with crushed olive, so you can see that's quite a good match. In addition to that, we're using our Wow ink pad, blueprint sketch, and Victorian velvet. Just to add, morning Heather, just to add some colour into our leaves. Right, so without further ado, let's crack on. So first of all, I am going to stamp and emboss my borders, and I'm using Wow Superfine embossing powder in silver. Okay. Morning Marianne, how are you? Hope you're well. Okay, so again, I'm lining that up on my, lined that up, and that doesn't look very straight at all, so let's do it properly, Sharon. See, you cut corners, and it just don't work. Let's get that, that's much better. So these are what these glass mats are for, they're brilliant, so you can get that on there nice and straight. And I'm going to use that as a bit of stamping, leave it on there. You can use your stamp and press if you want to. I just find that when I'm demoing, it's actually quicker and easier for me to use an acrylic block, but you can use your stamping pad. Okay, oh that's all right, my lovely. That's all right. I've only just started, Heather, anyway, so don't worry. Okay, right, so let's stamp this first. So I'm not going to go right to the edge. I'm kind of coming just a little bit because we're going to trim it up afterwards. So let's stamp there. Try and stamp sitting down so I don't keep jumping around all over the place. Oh, Crafters Anonymous meeting, eh? All over the shop. There's loads of stuff going on at the moment on Facebook. It's brilliant. So anybody that says they're not inspired, they need to get looking for Facebook Lives. Okay, so let's get our tray. Take that off. You know what I haven't done? Right, okay. Hi Claire, how are you? Hi Candy, hi Charlie. Oh, Helen. Hello, Helen. How are you? Right, can anybody think what I haven't done, what I should have done? What haven't I used that I should have used to stop my embossing powder sticking to the card? Come on, if you've all been watching. Hi, Lindsay. Okay, that's fine, Candy. Come on, guys. If you've been watching all week, you should know what I've not done. It's a test for you. Anti-static, thank you, Jane. I'm pleased somebody's listening to me. Oh, who else got it right? Heather, yeah, Claire got it right. Okay, coming in thick and fast now. Right, so just heating that. Again, Candy, thank you. Yeah, that's right, anti-static pad. As we go along, we're chasing that embossing powder so it doesn't overcook and we're left with a nice embossed image. Yeah, I don't know who that is. That I think that's Becky, isn't it? Becky, yeah. Oh dear, that's all right. You probably don't want to see me on your big telly anyway, Sue. But anyway, lovely to see you, Sue. Right, okay, so this time on here, I'm going to do what I should do. Pop my anti-static pad on. Actually, it wasn't too bad anyway, so we're going to use the other side. So you get two of these, one each side. And again, use your mat to line up. I'm going to do everything properly today because I am a professional. I like to think I am anyway. Okay, so that's nice and straight. And this one is going to go along this edge here. Okay, so we're going to stamp that up again. Morning, Karen. Re-inked my Wow embossing pad this morning because it's over the last couple of weeks I've used it continuously, so it really has taken a bit of a bashing these last couple of weeks. I think all my craft stuff has wondered what the heck is going on. I've never used it so much. Right, okay, so let's lay that down. One hand on top. Morning, Lindsay. Morning, Terry. And the other hand I am using to keep it in place and put even pressure over so I get a nice embossed image. So I'll pop that one over there. Okay, where's my silver gone? There it is. Super. Okay, that's on there. So let me see if you can see that. And that's quite dull. That's quite dull at the moment. So when I can get my hands round me. Okay. I've got this on heat setting 2 purely because I want it to go quickly. Okay, if you're a beginner for heat embossing, I would also always suggest, oh, power surge. I would always suggest using number 1 because you don't want to overheat it and burn the embossing powder, and then you'll burn your card as well. Morning, Rachel. Okay, so that's the base of our card. Let's pop that back in there, and whilst I've got the silver embossing powder out, what we're also going to do, we're going to use a piece of vellum. Okay, the piece of vellum is for this bit across the middle, which has got my sentiment on. I did try it with a piece of card originally, but it was too heavy. It was much too heavy for the card, so vellum looks much nicer, much lighter. Plus also you can see what's going on underneath there as well. Okay, so again, anti-static pad, and we are going to stamp right in the middle of the vellum, because what we want to do is we want to tuck it round the card. When we come to layering it up, you'll see, but we want to tuck it round the card. Okay, so I need a couple of bits at the end of the vellum that I'm able to play around with. Okay, so I'm lining this up again. So this one's quite important that you get it nice and straight. So I'm using my lines on my board just to make sure that's straight. Looks good to me. Morning, Sue. tap that. So again, I'm taking my ink pad to my stamp. I know I keep repeating myself, but I think sometimes there's some new people that join and they haven't necessarily done any stamping before, so it just gives them the techniques as well. Okay, so let's stamp that. Actually, I'm not doing that into the corner, am I? I'm going to do that right in the middle. I'm going to go up just slightly. So let's go down here. So again, hold on to your acrylic block and then just move even pressure along. Again, you can use your stamp pad. Oh good, I'm pleased you're enjoying it, Terry. You can use a stamping press for doing this. Super, there we go. Let's pop that over there. And then we'll put our silver embossing super-fine. Give it a tap. Any areas that look a little bit, so just tap, tap, tap. This is a really fine font, but it is a beautiful. So can't really see it at the moment because it's very dull, but look at that. That changes really quickly, and that you can see that really well actually in the picture. So you just chase that along. Make sure all of it's nice and shiny, and we have got a really, really, look at that. Isn't that pretty? Wishing you the most wonderful day. I think that's lovely. I love that font, and I love it in the silver emboss as well. Beautiful. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so let's just put these away. And just for those of you that know, I got to Paper Artsy quite safe and sound yesterday. Picked up all my bits and pieces. So I will be out delivering this afternoon. I will call you this sort of in any time soon once I finish this to get payment for your goods. So I take prepayment. So anybody on here this morning that knows that they've got a delivery coming, could you just inbox me on Messenger your telephone number so that I've got it, so I can give you a call straight away. That would be great. Thank you very much. Or those of you that have already got my bank details, which quite a few of you have, what I'll do is I will messenger you a total, and you can just fax it to me. It's entirely up to you, whatever you feel more comfortable with. So, okay, let's have, actually, do you know what, looking at that, I've got a little area there that I've missed. That's it, it's gone. That's it, lovely. Just see that, it was just really dull. Okay, so we've done our background, we've done our sentiment. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do these lovely letters. And as I said, I'm using Tracy Scott's, these ones here. So I've just taken, again, I'm using Paper Mill Direct 300 GSM Super Smoothie White Card, which I have in stock if anybody wants any. Take your embossing powder. Oh, not embossing powder. Take your embossing pad. And then let's pop that out of the way. I'm just going to do a section. Okay, so I'm using my pad and I'm going straight onto, don't have to worry about an anti-static pad for this, straight onto my piece of card, and I'm making sure there's lots of ink on here. This is why this needed to be re-inked this morning. Take my first Tracy Scott powder into my tray to try and keep everything as clean and tidy as possible. And then pop that back. Okay, give it a tap so it all comes out. I'll clean that up later. Put the top on, because I have been known to pour the wrong colour in the wrong pot. So I always, morning Francis, I always put the lids on. And then we're just going to heat this up. Again, I'm chasing the embossing powder. As it turns, I'm moving my heat gun across and down, so I'm not going over the same part, and that way it won't overheat. If you waft like that, you get an uneven distribution of hot air. Right, so again, second section. Oh gosh, I'm going to be absolutely covered in glitter. I'll be sparkly all day. So just going to rub that over. Okay. And take our second colour, which is a beautiful, oops, let's do that so that you can see what I'm doing. Actually, we shouldn't have done that right over the top of there, but hey ho. That's it. Right, okay, let's start again. Pull that on there and move that around there. Okay. If you want a deeper colour, which I do on this one, so I'm not going to put the lid on that one yet. Wait for that to dry, that's it, perfect. Okay, you can see how quickly these dry because that's ready to go straight on. Hubby says I suffer with that uneven distribution of hot air. Yeah, I think mine might agree with you as well. I nearly said something actually, apart from the hot air that comes out of my mouth. Oops, I'm going to have a very glittery ink pad as well. Right, so let's get some more colour on that because I want that a little bit deeper. Okay, that's better. Lovely. So you can see that there. So, high volume. That's much better. Much deeper colour. So, as I say, if you want a deeper colour, just wait for it to cool a couple of seconds. Go in with your embossing pad again. Okay, and then just add some more colour. Right, so nearly there. Let's put the lid on that one. And our last colour, which is the sort of greeny, limey colour. And again, in with your ink pad. Hopefully that will get most of the glitter off. Here, that's better, isn't it? You can see better now. There we go. Beautiful. And again, heating that. Lovely. Okay, so now we've got our colours for our die cutting. Just going to quickly get rid of some of this glitter because I'm a little bit, that's it. I'm a bit of I like to be a tidy crafter, believe it or not. I know it's hard to believe, but I am. Right, okay, so let's get our die cutting machine. And as I said before, the nice thing about these dies, as long as I don't drop them all over the floor. So we've got L, O, V and E and W-I-T-H. Fantastic. Okay, let me just put that down there a minute. I don't need to block off what I'm doing. So I'm going to start off with L and then an O and then a V. And then my E back over here. So that's my love. And then with, I'm going to start W and an I and a T. I sound like countdown, and an H and a vowel. Shame I ain't got her body though. Right, okay. A little bit of low tack tape over the top of these. Doesn't stick particularly well because obviously it's quite a rough, that surface with the glitter on it. But I'm not using all of it because I can use that other little bit later. What make of the dies? Dies Candy are the new Julie Hickey ones. As I say, you get doubles of some of them. So if you're doing like Happy, Happy, you can do it all together. And they retail at $19.99, which is an absolutely fantastic price. Absolutely fantastic. I paid a fortune from another company for my dies. And yeah, and I mean an absolute fortune. I think my uppercase cost me £100. And they are slightly bigger, but doesn't matter to me. I'd be quite happy because the uppercase on the Julie Hickeys are $16.99. So they're a fabulous price. Okay, so we're layering it up, going through with our machine, all in one go, which is great. Nothing worse than having to go backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. Slide this off. Get that out of the way. Okay. So let's peel these off. So there's that peach. Get rid of that. There's my eye. So keep these safe so that they don't get lost. There's the top of my eye. There's my dot. So hopefully these will just fall out because I've got nothing to pick them out with. So that's the L. That's it, lovely. Look how easy they come out. That's fine. So that's with, there we go, W, T. Let's put that there. I don't think my A's, oh no, that's a V. Oh gosh, honestly, Sharon. Had half a brain, I'd be dangerous. Hello, Jane. Oh, look, I've just missed that one. Let me just get my scissors. That's my fault because I didn't put it in far enough. But as it's the, oh my goodness. Okay, I'm afraid I'm going to have to get the glasses back on because I can't. For some reason this morning, I think it's because I was wearing them this morning, and I think sometimes when you've been wearing them and then you go back to not wearing them, oh gosh, can't see. Right, okay, so I'm just going to go up there on that. That's fine. Oh, come back here. That's a lively one. So L-O-V-E and W-I-T-H. I did that wrong actually. I did the H. The H should have been in that colour, but hey, I'm not going to lose sleep over that. That I'm going to save for later because that I can reuse. I've got a lot of other areas on there, so I'll get a lot more dyes out of that. Let's pop that up there. Okay, so popping those to one side for the minute. Next, what we're going to do is we are going to take our paintbrush and we are going to use our oxides, okay, just to colour in these flowers. Okay, now again, I'm not going to sit here and colour loads of them with you, but I just want to show you how you can use your oxide pads to paint with. So I've put my pad on my glass mat and then I picked up just a little bit of water and added that into the oxide, and then you can paint and you can go as deep a colour as you want. So if I quickly do, oh, I'm pleased you're enjoying them, Tracy. See, you're not missing my dulcet tones from the shop. You can still link in and get to hear me. I don't know if that's good or bad actually. Don't answer that please. I know what you'll come back with. So look, see, even I've gone quiet. Oh, I find this so therapeutic. I love oh I'm going over the sides as well, and that's with my glasses on. I love colouring in with oxides and painting. It's just beautiful. So I'm just going to do these two big flowers. Okay, obviously you can take your time and do the others. You can put a bit of shading in there if you want to, which is quite easy to do. I'll show you how to do that quickly. So without watering down my brush, I'm just going to go back in and take some of the oxide colour, even though that doesn't look like. I miss you as well. And you'll get to, oh yes, I'm going to tell everybody about that, Debbie, don't worry. I'm just picking up the colour on there. So that's going to be a much more concentrated colour. And just where I've got the embossing for the leaves, I'm just going to stroke that colour down. And I'll show you in just a minute how that gives you a really nice shade. So I'm just going back over what I've already done, and I'm redoing my paintbrush every time because I want quite a concentrate of ink on there. There we go. Okay. So can you see the way that's really shaded? So that comes in really pretty. Do you want me to do a little bit more so you can see, or do you want me to move on? Let me know, because I don't want to bore you. Because just watch me sit, but I love sitting here painting. So the next one, I'm going to do some leaves in Evergreen Bough, which again is one of the ones that I've matched up. This ink pad is really dry. I need to re-ink that one. Okay, but if you're happy for me to just colour those leaves, I'll happy colour them in, because I love doing it. I do. I love it. I love it. So I'm going to mirror this exactly the same way on this side. Okay, and on here. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to dry my brush off. Okay, so just dry your brush off, and then let's go in and pick up some ink that hasn't been diluted, and just run it up the middle. And again, it just gives those leaves just a little bit of definition. Up the middle and down the middle of those. Okay, so you can see again, look, can you see the way that's starting to come together? So it's beginning to look really quite pretty. As I said, if you want me to stop and move on to the next bit, I'm quite happy to. You don't, but what, until somebody says to me, stop and move on, Sharon, I'm going to carry on. Otherwise, I won't finish it, because I know yesterday I didn't finish the one from yesterday. But yesterday I was in a little bit of a rush because I had to dash over to Brentwood, so it was a little bit frantic. But actually, do you know what? It only took me half the time. Hiya, Dawn. Only took me half the time it normally does to get there, because obviously there's not much traffic on the road. I say there's not a lot of traffic on the road. I was quite surprised how many cars were actually on the road. But I'm guessing that if people aren't getting out of their cars, then or just going to where they've got to go and keeping themselves to themselves, it's not too much of a problem. Right, so now I'm just doing the leaves, and to do these leaves I'm using, morning Joe, I'm using crushed olive. So these are quite old colours actually, so I've dug them out, but these are the ones that really corresponded the best with my Tracy Scott embossing powders. So I wanted it all to sort of match up. So now I'm going to come in with a little bit of Blueprint Sketch. I know, you get absorbed, don't you, Dawn? I know on last Monday... Oh, look, I've forgotten a leaf there. We won't worry about that. Oh, and there as well. Not to worry. Last Monday I was cleaning out this room. Not that you'd think that now. But I was cleaning out this room, and it took me all day. And I was like, oh my gosh, where did that time go? And actually it was quite good, because I found bits and pieces that I'd forgotten I had. So I'm just going back over the top of this, just to give myself that little bit of shading, and I think I'm going to colour this one. Oops, I've gone over the middle, but let's not worry because we'll make that a little bit darker. So just over there, and oh goodness, because I'm rushing, this is a bit all over the place, but you'll see once we've finished it doesn't really matter. A little bit there, little one here. So I'm just going to do all these. Oop, that's terrible. Okay, mucky Sharon. My brush has splayed out actually, so I'm going to blame it on my brush. Let's pop a little centre bit in here. Let's do these ones in blue as well. So I'm not going to use my Victorian Velvet on this one. I did use it on my other one, but I haven't used it on this one. But it doesn't matter. What color? Actually, I will use it because I'll use it in the centres. Right, okay, so it's not left half done. Morning, Tanya. I am just going to go in and do these leaves, otherwise they're going to be half finished. And that will drive Becky insane because she'll have an OCD overload if I leave those and don't do them. Okay, I think I've done all of those on there. Yes, I have. So I'm pushing my brush out. I'm going to take my Victorian Velvet. I'm going to go straight to the ink pad with this. I know you shouldn't really do this, but I've got a dry brush, so it's not too bad. I'm going to go in the centre here, in the centre here. There's no flowers that I haven't done. Dry my brush off. That's all right. I was running a little bit late this morning, Tanya. I had to move all the orders that I've got out of the doorway, and it took me about 5 minutes because there's so many of them. Right, okay, thank you for being patient. I've been sorting my craft room for the last weeks. I know, it's fantastic. You think, oh gosh, I forgot I had that. It's brilliant. Right, so there we go. So it was worth finishing because you really get to see the full extent of those flowers. So that's really pretty, and that is just using my oxides, watered down oxides, just to colour in. So they're multifunctional. They're brilliant. Okay, right. So next, I'm going to trim this up. So I'm going to go back to that border line and to the top of the border. Down just a tiny bit, and then to the side of this border and to the end of this one. That's it. So you can see that's taken it right the way back to the edges. Right, with my seedless preserve, I'm going to pick some up. Take it off because I really want it very, very gentle, and I'm just going to rub it down the side like so, and that's just going to give it a nice little edge. Okay, and down the last edge. So remember, put it on, take it off. You can always add more, but if you add too much, you can't really take it away. There we go. So can you see that just softens that edge for you? Okay. Right, so next I am going to take my my letters. So no, I'm not going to take my letters. I'm going to take my sentiment first, because what we need is our sentiment in place before we can add our with love, because we need to know exactly where to put it. Okay, so what I've done is I've just chopped that down. So I've got a nice strip there. I'm going to lay this across the middle, like so. Just going to bring it up slightly more up than down, because it's just a little bit more pleasing to the eye. I'm going to get it into place where I want it, and then I'm just going to tuck that tab behind there And I'm going to tuck that tab behind there, and then that fits really lovely against there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my double-sided tape, and I'm going to tape down that side. 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So you can see that that's grabbed that, so it's kept it in place. And then when we come to stick this down, we've already got our double-sided tape there. Yes, it will do, Jane. Yeah, normal distress inks. So, yeah, absolutely. Distress inks, distress oxides, Adirondack inks, any of those will all be fine for using this technique. Yeah, any dye-based inks. I'm sure that's what it's... Yeah, so dye-based pigment ink, you can use any of those. Yeah, they will be brighter because obviously you've got the chalky effect with your oxides. Was that Sheila or was that Jane that said that? Oh, it was Jane replying to Sheila. Oh, that come up funny, didn't it? Not to worry. Okay, right. Let's start to add our letters. So I try not to bore you too much, but what I like to do first is I just like to pop them down where I want them, hopefully, and they'll stay there. Look at me. T, H, okay, so that's pretty much where I want it. So let's just add a few foam pads. I'm not going to faff around with too many. So let's put our W in there. Then our I. I'm all fingers and thumbs this morning. And then one on the back of the eye. I'm not going to use my my enamel accents for the top of my eye this morning. Oh, did she? I didn't see that. Thanks, Tanya. Pleased you're on the ball. But I didn't see that. So, morning, Norma. Hope you're well. Okay, and then onto T. And then when we come to do the love, we need to work backwards because we don't want to sort of start here and then go off at the end of the page because we've not got enough room. So what we'll have to do is we'll have to spell it backwards. So hopefully I'll be fine doing that. So I'll take that off and that off. And I'm going to stick this down here. Okay, right, so you can see that that would have looked so much better if I'd have done it in that colour, but I made a mistake. So with that one, that's what I did it correctly there, but it's not the end of the world. It's really not the end of the world. So things like that don't bother me. I know somebody that it will bother, but it certainly won't bother me. Right, so I'm going to start with my E and I'm going to work backwards. So my E is going to be about here. Okay. And then my V. One here and one here. There we go. Put that there. And then my O. And as I say, by working backwards like this, you know that you're not going to run off the end of the page. And then my L. Right, I've mounted this onto a 6x6 cardstock. I knew you'd be like that, Becky. Okay, there we go. So when I'd finished this, I did think to myself, you know what, it does look a bit plain in these areas up here. So let me just move that. Oh, I've thrown half of those down me now. I'll have to get the hoover out. I've forgotten what my hoover looks like actually. I can't remember. I've done so much crafting and no housework at all. So just a few, because I can't do a card without putting my enamel accents on them. So this is Electric Lime. This is one of my favourite colours. I'm just gonna, in fact, I'm gonna make this one just slightly different. I'll do three little clusters of dots. There. Now I've run out of 6x6 cards. I've got to go down the card shop. I've got to go down the craft shop and grab some more. But let's just get rid of that from under there. Let me get a piece of black card. And then you can see there. That is your finished card. Oh, let me angle that so, oh gosh, look at me all over the place. There you go. That's it. So that is our card making for today. Let me just turn you back round. Okay, let's take those off because I can't see long distance with those. So just a little bit of background about what's going to be happening over the weekend. So initially I said, right, Friday and Monday I'm going to treat as normal as a bank holiday because I need a rest. I'm really tired. But then I sort of thought, you guys are going to miss us, aren't they? I know, they're lovely, aren't they, Dawn? They are Tracy Scott's embossing powders. So in case you missed it, you can watch it back, but they're Tracy Scott's embossing powders from Wow. And just quickly, that's what we did with them and cut them out. Okay? You're an experienced crafter, you'll know how I did that. So what we've done is, and what Debbie was saying earlier is that we are going to pre-record. So we're not going to be live, but we're going to pre-record. So Debbie's is going to actually go out tomorrow. I know she said it was Tuesday, but it's not. Debbie's is Lavinia tutorial is going to go out tomorrow, but it will be pre-recorded. So you can always pop them in your bag, Dawn, because I've still got to call you for money and I'll be delivering it later today. So if you want a set of those, I can grab them for you. Just let me know. Yeah, so Lavinia with Debbie tomorrow morning at 11. That will be a scheduled post and you won't be able to interact like I do at the moment, but you can definitely comment underneath and we will come back to you at some point over the weekend. On Monday, it will be a pre-recorded Facebook Live or Facebook video from me. Don't know what I'm doing yet because I never do. Oh, you're welcome, Tanya. We don't want to leave you for 4 days without doing anything. So for those of you that are doing the Joe Firth Young class on Saturday, you will get a class. The only day you won't get a class is on Sunday. But yeah, so I'll be back with a scheduled post on Monday. As I say, I don't know what I'm doing at the moment, but that's part of the surprise. And then Tuesday we'll be back to normal. Tuesday we'll be back at 11 AM. Now, Debbie is going to be doing, once a week, she's going to be doing you a live Lavinia workshop, okay, online. So it will be about the same as what I do, about 40 minutes. But it will always be with Lavinia because she's good at doing the Lavinias. I'm not so good with those. So, yeah, so she's going to be doing that. But it will be a pre-recorded one because that's how she feels more comfortable doing it. So, yeah, that's the schedule for the next sort of 4 or 5 days. And as I said before, anybody that is expecting deliveries from me today, could you just message me your telephone numbers so that I can give you a call and take your address so that we can start delivering those, because there is quite a few. In fact, there's a great big sack full, so I need to work out my delivery route. So that ties me up for the rest of the day. Have a wonderful Easter. I know it's going to be a bit odd this year, but have a wonderful Easter break. I hope you all stay safe, stay at home, stay safe. And any crafting that you do, send through to me. I'd love to see them. We post them on our Facebook business page, the Forget Me Not Craft Cabin. So, also, I need to ask you a favour. I nearly forgot. Would if you're really loving these demos, could I be really cheeky and ask you to go onto our Facebook page and just write a recommendation, please? Because lots of people do look at those. And I had a look, and I think the last one we had was about a month ago. So it would be really nice if those of you that haven't done it, if you wouldn't mind just popping a little recommendation on there for me. I'd really appreciate it. So anyway, have a wonderful weekend. I will see you back live on Tuesday, but there will be demos here on Friday and Monday at 11 AM as normal. Thank you so much. Thanks everybody. See you soon. God bless. Bye.